Some now predict that illegal crossings in the Channel could reach over 80,000 this year. Sir Keir Starmer has said he has a plan to solve this crisis, including tackling the backlog of asylum applications, cooperating with France and dealing with people traffickers at source. So if he becomes Prime Minister, will it work? Can Labour stop the boats? Anne, what's your view?
Well, a central point is that he wants greater European cooperation. These boats are coming from one place, they're coming from France. We've tried the cooperation route. We've given France a load of money, a shed load of money. Not once, not twice, 3 times have we given France money to help us sort the mess out. And 3 times have they taken the money and delivered absolutely zilch. So, forget that, Keir. It's been tried. That's nothing new. It's been tried and it's failed. Then he says he's going to hurry up the asylum claims. Great. I'm all for that. But what happens when at the end of an asylum claim, he's going to say no? How is he going to send those people back? Has he got agreements like we've got with Albania at the moment? What's he going to do? He doesn't tell us. It's all froth. It's complete froth. It's not even smoke and mirrors, because that's clever, and this isn't even clever.
However, Keir Starmer argues that he would have a more constructive relationship with France and the European Union, and that's what would tackle the crisis.
I've no doubt that he would seek closer relationships, that he would give up what very little independence we got as a result of Brexit. I've no doubt about that. I've no doubt that he will align with Europe rather than becoming competitive with it. But if he thinks that that is going to move Europe into suddenly cooperating over the small boats, then he's got another thing coming, because their record is zilch. And the idea that if you just go and smile and be nice to them, that can achieve what money wouldn't achieve, I don't agree. I just don't see it happening.
And what do you make of this new government video dissuading Albanians from coming to the UK?
Well, it's a good message, and I'm all for trying to dissuade people. I've said deterrence is what makes it. But we have to do something more than just return a few hundred Albanian asylum seekers or illegal migrants. We've got to actually return a few thousand. And then that's a deterrent. That's a deterrent. So I'm all for sending the message, but the thing that will convince people is not the words on posters. It's the action that we're taking, that they hear about, that makes them decide whether they want to pay all that money to human trafficking agents or not.
I know you're not his biggest cheerleader, but pretty smart of Rishi Sunak to stand by his Home Secretary, Suella Braverman, amid that speeding non-story.
Well, what was all the fuss about? She got a speeding ticket. She was offered a speeding awareness course. She realised that she would have to do it with a lot of other people. She asked a question. That's all she did. She didn't try to enforce it. She asked a question, which is there any way of doing this privately? I would have asked exactly the same question. The answer she got was, we don't know and we're not going to investigate because we're civil servants. So then she asked her own office, and then she decided, no, there wasn't any way of doing it privately, so she'd take the points. She asked a question. What is wrong with asking a question? It's not as if she tried to fiddle the system.
Well, I've got to say, I'd be very entertained doing a speed awareness course with Anne Widdecombe. That would be a very diverting experience. Anne, briefly, if you can, we haven't spoken since the official statistics came out that over 600,000 people entered the country legally in the last year. There are those arguing it's good for the economy, that we need the cheap labour and that we need the young population. What's your view of these figures and the scale of them?
Well, they're far too high, coming from a government that has persistently promised to get the numbers down. David Cameron, it was going to be under 250,000. We've had all these promises, tens of thousands even, we got down to at one point. And yet nothing has been delivered. So I think it's time to stop looking just at the raw figures and start looking at what these categories are. Some are students, some are skilled workers. What sort of skills? High-level skills? Low-level skills that we should expect our own people on the dole to do? We need to actually look now at the categories.